Ladies and gentlemen, Michael Palmisano here. Just got back from Snowbird and Alta in Utah. Went out for my 40th birthday. Got about 40 inches. Unbelievable. Felt magical. Felt like the mountain needed me. I needed the mountain. I know it sounds crazy, but like, feel the energy, feel the flow, ready to take on this next part. On that note, back on Guitargate. And Christoph hits me with little Jason Isbell, King of Oklahoma. He says, like all Jason Isbell songs, this hits hard right in the feelings and heart. Someone that has had addiction issues and dealt with a lot of the same themes, it hits me like he wrote it for me, as his songs do. Isn't that the truth? He goes, love what you do, and your humanity being forward is what we all need. Man, appreciate you. Of all the artists I've reviewed on this channel, I don't know if anyone has had more of an internal impact than Jason Isbell. I feel the exact same way, that his songs really speak directly to me. It really speaks to the power of the artist, where if you make something pure and true to you, for you, it actually has a higher chance of connecting with more people, because there's so many people in the world that feel like you do, but don't know how to express it. So you can paint your own picture, but if it comes from this pure place, other people might have a different picture, but they still have that same thing deep inside. And Jason taps into that like really no one else alive does, in my professional opinion. So it was my pleasure to do King of Oklahoma, which I think is a new song. I heard it playing in my kitchen the other day, and I was like, damn, one day I'm going to have to check this one out. So here we go, live in real time. Okay, before we get into the lyrics, let's talk about what's happening harmony-wise. Again, broad strokes, my friends. Cool thing that happens here. We have to see if it continues throughout the song, but it starts with A minor to E minor to D major. Sorry, what's going on? I haven't played guitar in a week. To C major, okay? But then when it repeats, that cadence starts again on C. So then C major, E minor, D major, C major. That works because A minor and C major are relative majors and minors, meaning they contain the same notes in the scale. They're essentially the same key, and so if it continues, it's cool to have a repeating cycle where every 4 it starts on A minor, but then it goes to C major for the first chord for the next 3. Very cool. Lots of cool little licks in there. Right? I don't have it, but it's. I imagine it's just diatonically following the C major scale. Here we go.
Midnight, paying out a camera for a guard. Write my own prescription if I can't get a fix, son. About to get real hard. Mommy's gonna leave me, says she don't believe me. The kids won't even know my name. Put a gallon in the step side, need a little help by morning. I won't feel no pain. Well, I never thought I'd wind up this far behind. Just a couple years back we had it made. I was emptying my bladder on a 20-foot ladder. Should have climbed down and found myself some shade. The doctor took a quick look and I got out the checkbook and left with a pocket full of pills. Now my back's still hurting
Okay, before we get into the chorus, I love the setup here. You got a double verse. The first one paints the picture of today, of, I never thought it would get to this place, but I've sacrificed everything, and if I can't get a prescription, I got to get my own fix. I put the last money I can. I love it in the step side of the truck. I'm waiting behind this building. I'm going to steal some copper. I'm trying to stay away from the cameras. Like, you're seeing the desperate person of today, right? I've got to get this, right? Nothing else matters, right? Not the kids, nothing, right? Like, I care, but I can't turn this thing off, okay? I can't turn this thing off. Then immediately into the second verse, it goes back to how it all started, okay? I'm climbing on this ladder. I'm taking a leak. I fall off. Basically, I'm in immense pain. Doctor gives me some pills, some opioids, obviously. And that's what starts this process. This theme, and I don't know where he's going to take it because it's Jason, but this theme knows no race, no creed, no age, no nationality. Every family, everywhere in the world, has had this epidemic touch them. It's touched my family and my friends. And I love his storytelling. I love the setup. Now let's go into the chorus.
She used to wake me up with coffee every morning, and I'd hear her homemade house shoes slide across the floor. And she used to make me feel like the king of Oklahoma, but nothing makes me feel like much of nothing anymore.
He's such a good guitar player. We're going to get to that in a second. Love how the chorus breaks into halftime, okay? Now, you immediately go to G. Sorry. So like the chorus moves to the 5 chord, right? I love that the feel changes, that the whole thing brightens up. We're now in this G major vibe. And there's so much about the chorus that I dig. It's what preceded it, right? It starts with the verse of where I am today and how desperate I am, and then it's how it began, and then the chorus is the preceding of all that. I used to be the king of Oklahoma, and I love that it's got the name of the town or the name of the city or the name of the state rather in it. It's those little details which help paint that picture. And I love that she used to bring me coffee every morning, how she used to slide across the floor like things were light, how good things were before the fall from grace. Just always amazing songwriting with Jason Isbell. Like, just always. Coming in, just E minor stuff, but just the swagger. He's so quick, so slick. Just his phrasing is so precise and yet still kind of that, like, not rushed feel. And the P90s are just screaming. Always want a sick pair of P90s. I've always felt like if you can make P90s sing, like, you can really play anything. Such a great guitar player. I love that move. That very cool. Just hang on that F sharp and then hit to that open G, which again kind of implies that A minor 7th thing that we're going back to Very tasty.
I was all set up to do it, but some bastard beat me to it in a copper pack left on the lot. Got a loan out on the truck, but I'm running out of luck, and the title is the only thing I've got. Molly's gonna leave me, says she don't believe me. I got nothing left to lie about. She's going back to Bixby, tired of trying to fix me. Says I got some to figure out.
Now we're going to one verse and then the chorus. And it takes you back to the first verse, painting the picture, right, of that specific night. Someone else beat him to it. What that tells you is that now he's in a place that attracts these addicts, right? Now he doesn't live in that house anymore. He says so much with that little bit of information is so dense. That's why Jason's so great, because it speaks to how everything in his life has changed, the places he's around, the kinds of people, because he's around other addicts. He's in this desperate spot. He's not the only one with this same idea, right? Just like everyone else there, he's ran out of the lies that he can tell. Of course she doesn't believe him. And she says she's going back to Bigsby. Again, the name of the town. I just love it.
She used to wake me up with coffee every
Settling into it.
morning, and I'd hear her homemade house shoes slide across the floor.
So much swagger.
She used to make me feel like the king of Oklahoma, but nothing makes me feel like much of nothing anymore. She used to
Double
wake
chorus.
me up with coffee every
Make sure you nail that voice leading, that B into C. Little things like that. When you have these big landscapes of sound, those little nabs, right, where the bass gets it, the keys get it, where everybody kind of pushes to the next bar. It's the same thing as like when you're singing and you start right before the bar line, the and she, before it used to make me feel like the king of Oklahoma. Same thing. You grab that next leading tone before the next chord, just pulls you across. When everybody in the band gets that, especially when it's like the third chorus and it in like maybe in the first one person gets it or nobody, it's not a thing. But by the end, when everybody just rips you across the bar line, that's a good band. That's good arranging. Simple, profound.
She used to wake me up with coffee every morning.
Those hits.
I was sleeping till she walked right through the door.
Love that detail.
She used to make
Three chords.
me feel like the king of Oklahoma.
Up top.
Nothing makes me feel like much of nothing anymore.
And Sadler Vaden over there. All right, I got to get some of this. Guitar players, check this out. A lot of cool stuff in here. Starts off the same way. Now, again, his swagger and his feel is so precise. It's so unique. We're not really trying to recreate that. I just want to give you the basic concept of what he's thinking harmonically, soloing over this. So E minor, right? That. Love the use of the F sharp. It's so killer. Really implies that D chord, right? Shooting for that E. Yeah. Again, E minor pentatonic. That flat 3, 4, 5, flat 3, 2, 1, jumping into the next spot. So we started in pattern 5, went to pattern 1, okay? Now we're in pattern 2. Love this. That C to B, so killer. The 6 to the 5, flat 6 to 5. This, again, same little motif you did up here, right? This CB in here. What this outlines is your G major triad, okay? This is B, D, and G. Why am I? This G major triad, which of course implies E minor, okay? The top of E minor 7 is a G major triad. Again, relative majors and minors. The same way it did in the beginning between C major and A minor is the same thing as E minor and G major. Same basic thing. Just walking up. Tag that flat 3. There. Does he do that? Yeah. So again, following the changes as they go down. Okay? Go into that D major. Just triads. Tracking these triads. But choosing to pull off that third, not leave that third hanging, and just have this power chord here, this root in the 5th, with gain, especially those P90s, it's that attitude. It just rips through, right? And you can do that. And then take it straight down. Follow the chords down again. E minor, D major, C major, right? So we're E major, E minor, D major, down to C major, same power chord thing. Feel like the strength in that. So that unison bend on E, F sharp, G, G, back to E. That move. So killer. Love that. So great. Yes. Bigsby.
Thank you so much.
What a great band the 400 unit is. Okay, Sadler Vaden, dude, don't sleep on him. What I loved about his solo is that he comes in on B, okay, and does this descending thing that like it's this descending line. It's very like counterpoint to Jason's lead. Very melodic, much less like guitar centric, much more like a vocal line, but the opposite. This little coming in on the fifth, bending up to that flat 30. Like very, very, very cool. Same kind of thing happens when he goes up top. He picks this little motif, but shooting for that F sharp. The whole time in this song, I've been like, oh, god damn, what a great use of that F sharp. The F sharp is the third of D major, okay? When that chord passes and you hang on that F sharp, it creates this brightness to it. It takes it out of straight major land or minor land and brings this levity to it. Like there's this little shade of hope in there. And when they grab it down here, like when Jason, and when Sadler, it stands out. It stands out. So for all of you taking leads out here, trying to figure out what to do over this, pay attention to the F sharp. That F sharp really implies the D major chord. It's the most significant departure note-wise. The second one being that commitment to doing that C to B action. Just very cool little flourishes. It's so tasteful the way that it's mostly key-centered, like E minor, but those little things make the other chord changes really stand out. And just tremendous tone and touch by both of them. Awesome band, awesome arrangement. I love that it builds and builds and builds. Everybody grabs more and more hits, and by the end, you're just dragging you across the finish line. And it's loud, and it lingers, like with that Bigsby. Just phenomenal band. And again, I just love the storytelling. It's such a simple story. It's like, I'm out trying to get heroin, right? Because they won't give me any more pills. And my whole life has changed. It starts with painting the picture of here right now, and how desperate I am and how I've sacrificed everything. Then it goes to how it all began. I hurt myself in an honest mistake. They gave me a bunch of pills that were way too strong. I became addicted to them. They stopped giving them to me, and I had to go out on my own, right? Chorus, what it used to be before that. She used to make me feel like a king, right, of Oklahoma. And then it goes back. I'm not in that, like, then it's like they beat me to it. I'm in this place now forever, right? I'm surrounded by these addicts who have also ran out of lies and sacrificed everything to be there because they have to. It's that strong of a thing. The addiction is that strong that even though it's their hearts are bleeding, they have to get what they have to get, and then whatever comes next comes next. It's that basic of an equation. And then it's chorus after chorus after chorus. It's down to halftime. They just settle into it. And those little tiny details. I'm going back to, I forget the name of that town, but like she's going back to that town, right? There was another great line. I forget it. It's hard to remember all these things at the same time. Doing this live, ladies and gentlemen. But so many great little details. Jason Isbell in the 400 unit. It's one of the best bands led by one of the best living songwriters. Can't stress enough how much I love him and his whole band and the vibe and the attitude and the overarching, just the transparency. Again, like I said in the beginning, if you make something that is for you, that is your story, it touched your life, and you paint the specific picture with as many details as you can that give a larger clue to how the person's life has changed for better or worse, it doesn't matter that the person on the other end doesn't have those details or that story, because you're communicating all the way from here. So Jason is that flag bearer for me of just like, no, don't make art for what you think people want to hear, for what you think is going to be commercially successful. Create the thing that you have to create, the story that you have to tell with the details that are real and that happened and that are happening. And that will connect, because there's so many other people in the world, regardless of race, creed, education, color, sex, nationality, feeling the exact same shit at the exact same time. And that's how you reach them. That's it. I love you all so much. Christoph, thanks for being a member of GuitarGate. If you want to be like Christoph and take us on our next journey, click the first link in the description. It'll take you over to GuitarGate. You can be a member and you get to pick what comes next on YouTube. It's my little thank you for taking my lessons and allowing me to be your online guitar teacher. Jason Isbell. Love you all. See you.